Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is such a special one. I've already duped the Harvest of Souls palette already on my channel. I'll link it in the icons above for you guys. I just wanted to give you more inspo looks using this color story because this color story is truly very special and I really want to reach out for this palette even more. So why not show it to you guys, right? And some of the people were really asking for it and I was like, okay, Smithy, since you're already filming a look, let's record it. So I'm going to create 3 extra looks using this color story. So if you want to see how I achieved all these 3 looks, please keep on watching. Of course, this is not the original palette. This is basically my dupe version for that palette. But since I did have this palette curated and I've already done a video on my channel how I curated this palette, I'll link it in the icons above. Some of the people were asking to create more looks inspired with this palette. So if you have your original palette or if you had the dupe shades that I created to dupe the palette, dupe the original palette, then just ride along. Or else just do whatever your heart desires. I'm really happy that you're here. So let's begin our look. I am going to start off with this shade, the sagey green blue shade. Of course, I'm wearing that top. So I need to incorporate this palette and this shade, right? So I'm going to take that. Mainly, I would say in the inner part of the crease. I did not set my eyelids. I should have. And also, I don't know what's up with this eye. This eye is twitching from like last 2 or 3 days. I have no idea why is it happening, but I definitely can see and feel my eye twitching all the time. So if you see something weird, especially around like the lower lash line where my eye is twitching, I don't even know why it's happening, okay? I'm just gonna take that all across the crease, mainly like this. Not worried about the lid portion because we'll definitely apply a shimmer on top of it, but I just wanted something in the crease, especially that sagey green. I really like that shade. And now I'm gonna take this muted purple shade. Really love that tone of purple, and I'm gonna take that mainly in the outer corner and melting it with that sagey green. And those are the 2 tones that we're going to play with today. Just such a beautiful tone of purple. I really like that. There you go. And these are going to be some quick eyeshadow looks. And that's why I came with like my full face of makeup done already, just so that I don't waste any time or just give you inspiration on the looks. So once we have that, I'm going to take that same muted purple on my lower lash line too. Love that tone of purple. This shade originally is from the Scissor Hands 2 palette. So if you were wondering, that's where this comes from Wicked Widow Beauty. Okay. Now once we have that, I am going to take a little bit of this shade, and this would basically be my blending shade of both of these shades, basically like a transitioning shade. Also going to take that same shade on the lower lash line. Because there's so much makeup every day that is releasing in the market, you don't even come to see like the older palettes, like last year's palette in use. So I didn't want to buy the original palette just because I had all the shades in my collection. So I was like, let's just use what we have and see how we roll. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this shade, this blue purple shade, and that basically would be my bridging shade with that purple right there. Just a tad bit, I'm not taking much. That is also from, I don't know what palette, but yeah, I've explained all of it in my original video. And I'm taking this shade and I'm taking that in my inner part of the eyelid and melting it with the other shade. That's such a pretty shade. Let's do the same thing on the other eye. Isn't that so pretty? That's amazing. I love it. I'm gonna take this shade, the transitioning shade, and I'm basically gonna take that as my inner corner shade. This palette definitely, I feel like, lacks the brightening shade. So I'm gonna just take that as an inner corner shade, and I'm gonna finish off the side with some liner and mascara. There you go, and that's my final look. I really love the way how this look turned out. I'm so excited about this color story in general. So if you do have the original palette, try and recreate this look. If you are interested in this look, I really love the way how this turned out. Now, if I did have the original palette, I would definitely create this look using that palette, and that's the beauty. When you have these shades already in your collection, that's what I love about mixing and matching, building your own palettes, magnetic pen palettes. That's what I love about it. I really hope that you enjoyed this look. Now let's move on to the next eye look. Now let's begin our second look with this palette. I definitely want to dip into these shades, like this murky yellow and green. So let's do that. I'm going to start off with that green, this shade. I'm going to take that in the outer corner. I'm going to do two different eye looks here so that I don't waste your time, and I can show you two different eye looks in a single video. Look how beautiful that tone is. I love it. And I'm going to take this shade. This is more like a yellow green, like there definitely is like a murkiness to it. And these two are like a match made in heaven. I know for a fact that this one is a Unearthly shadow, I think from Fall Magic palette. There you go. I'm going to take the same thing on the lower lash line too. Just blending everything out. And also taking it on the extreme outer corners of the lower lash line. Okay, now I'm going to take this shade, and this I'm going to take in the extreme outer portion, taking it diagonally and melting it with that green. It has some kind of a blue flip to it, so that would give a little bit more dimension to the eye look. And then the main star of the show, I'm going to dip into this shade. And this is a very dimensional shade. Look at that. I'm going to take that on the majority of the eyelid. Such a stunning shadow. Love that. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to take this shade, this lime green shade, and I'm going to basically take that as the inner corner pop. And I'm going to finish up this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll come right back. And that's my second eye look. I love the way how this turned out. It's definitely like more on the monochromatic side with those greens and yellows, but I feel like this is so dimensional on the eyes. I love these tones together. I feel like they did absolutely an amazing job curating this color story. I cannot wait. Now let's start off with the last look. And for that, I am going to let's take this shade on the extreme outer corners. It's like a deep dark green shade, which pretty much looks like a black. And I'm going to take nothing much. I'm just going to take it on the extreme outer corners, just for the added depth. And you can see how deep and dark it is. Okay, let's take this shade, this magenta shade. I ideally would always chicken out with that shade. So let's use it and see how it's gonna look. So I'm basically gonna take it like mainly on the crease. I would say halfway around the crease. And also tapping it right at the edge of that deeper shade, just so that we have that pink shade as like the star of the crease. Don't you worry, we're gonna do some magic. I am going to take now this shade, and this is going to be our blending shade into that pink. So basically you want to keep that lighter pastel-y purple right here. But I want to keep that pink definitely on the center of the crease. I'm going to do a two-tone look on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take this shade on the extreme outer corner, and then I'm going to take this green on the inner part of the lower lash line, just right there. Okay, and I'm going to take this shade and just blend everything out just so that there's no harsh lines. What are we going to do on this eye? I definitely want to use this shade, the pink. So let's start off with that, and I'm going to take that. I would take it on the majority of the eyelid, but I'm going to keep it right here, just keeping the inner portion of the eyelid open. It's a pink, but it has a lot of dimension going throughout it. Okay, now for the inner part, I'm going to take this shade, and I'm going to take that mainly like in the inner corner, but I'm also going to melt it down the inner part of the eyelid like that. Look at that dimension. That's just amazing. I love it. Because it's more of a toppery eyeshadow, this blue shade, it looks just absolutely amazing. The way you move your head, it looks amazing. Now I'm just going to take the same brush with which we applied that deeper shade and just tap on the edges. Now let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. And that's my final eye look. I absolutely love the way how this turned out. The combination of those blue toppery eyeshadow with that pink eyeshadow is absolutely amazing. You also can do so much more with this eyeshadow palette. I've obviously done a look before this also. I'll link it in the eye cards above. But I feel like this is such a genius way of curation of the eyeshadow palette. I feel like obviously you can stick to those quads and create some beautiful looks, but also you can go column by column, you can go row by row. There's so much things that you can do. You can just mix and match these shadows, and I don't think it can go wrong anyway. I definitely feel like if you say, yeah, like the quad is the best friend for you. I really love all the 3 looks that I created for you guys. I feel like the first one was my favorite out of the bunch. I really hope that you enjoyed all the 3 looks that I created in the dupe of the Harvest of Souls palette. I just wanted to give you some inspiration because people were asking for it, and I'm excited about this palette's color story so much. But yeah, I just didn't want to get it just because I did have these like color shadows in my collection. But that's all for today. Do let me know out of the 3 looks which one was your favorite. I cannot stop staring at my eye look. Clearly obsessed. I generally do upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.